Watchers Woman.
Hello there, and welcome to this episode of the Virtuous Woman Show. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us this wonderful Sunday evening. We hope you have had a great week wherever you're watching us from. We hope you went to church. I hope you really did go to church. If not, next Sunday, please make sure that you do it. It's a good habit to form. Once again, my name is Sheila Juma, and this show we seek to inspire, we seek to educate women across Africa and Kenya, of course. And so sit back, relax, enjoy. This is an episode that I personally am looking forward to. I have a lot to learn on this topic. But if you have yet to follow us on our social media platforms, please go ahead and do so. We are the Virtuous Woman Show across the board. That's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. There's a bunch of content on YouTube already right there for you, so you can go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the content that we upload. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are talking about habit formation. Now, I know we each have some habits that maybe we want to drop, or habits that maybe we want to pick up. Good habits that we want to pick up, bad habits that we want to drop. So this is the show where we're talking about habit formation. What are habits? How do you form healthy habits? How do you drop bad habits? And so please let someone know that the show is on. Don't watch alone. And with me on set, I have Helen Gige. She told me not to say doctor yet because she's almost there, but not yet. But karibu sana.
Thank you.
Thank you
Sheila.
so much for coming once again
Thank you.
to the show. For those who may be watching for the first time, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Helen Gige. I'm a teacher, a high school teacher. I'm also a doctorate student at Kenyatta University. I'm pursuing my doctorate in educational psychology, and I'm privileged to be here. Thank you, Sheila, for welcoming me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Educational psychology, what is that?
Just issues to do with education. You know, when you talk about psychology is behavior.
Yeah.
So we normally look at how we can observe behavior, how we can control it,
Yeah.
and how we can change it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you're the perfect candidate to talk about our topic today,
True.
habit formation.
True.
So what is your understanding of habit formation?
Okay, habit is a behavior that occurs automatically,
Okay.
and it is repeated through reinforcement.
Okay, so
Yes.
repetition forms a habit.
Yes.
And why is this topic important for today?
Okay, habit formation is important because, you know, habits shape our lives.
Yes.
You know, we have good habits and we have bad habits. So I'm sure that everyone would want to acquire the good habits and do away with or
Yeah.
avoid the bad ones.
Yeah.
So in every area, in every sphere of your lives, you'll find that there are some habits that might be detrimental to your growth, while others might assist you.
Yeah.
They might support your goals, your vision, your mission, and so
Yeah.
forth. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So you've already mentioned repetition,
Yes.
but you could elaborate on for us what is the process of habit formation in accordance to psychological theories.
Okay, there are theories that have explained habit formation.
Yeah.
And I'll refer to Albert Bandura's social learning theory, whereby he proposed that individuals or persons learn by observing others. The behaviors that are reinforced or rewarded are the ones that we tend to emulate or copy, and the ones that are punished, we tend to avoid them. And that is why even in school we punish, so that the behaviors that we don't want to be repeated or to be copied, they might be avoided. And the ones that we want to stick, we reward them.
Reinforce them, okay.
Yes, we reward. Once it's rewarded, the others will tend to copy. The same to betting. You find that they reward a few individuals, you get some millions, one or two, then everyone else wants to bet so that they can
Be the one who gets the million.
be the winners. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So betting is really psychological. It's a
Kabisa.
psychological game.
True.
That's why it can become an addiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
in fact, habits can end up becoming so difficult to get rid of them, because once the trigger is there is normally a cue. And then the right environment, like when you wake up in the morning, if you're in the habit of making coffee, just the smell of coffee would trigger that habit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Could you talk to us about the difference between a habit and a behavior? Is there a difference between the two?
Okay, the habit is more of automatic.
Okay.
It comes instant. It's once there is a cue, the trigger, then the habit just
kicks in.
Yeah, but a behavior is like more permanent than a habit. So a habit is something that is repeated depending on maybe the situation, the environment. You see, like that habit comes depending on the trigger, the routine, and maybe the reward. So you find that when the reward is not there, when the cue is not there, then the behavior will not be there. Yes, so it basically follows the cue or the reward. There is a trigger. Yes.
And what could you explain for us what a behavior is? Because you said a behavior is more permanent than a habit.
I distinguished the habit because it's automatic. Sometimes it can come willingly or unconsciously or consciously. So it's something that you might have wanted. It's something that you might have intended, and others are unintended. That is why I'm distinguishing it like that, because you see, like a habit could be unintended.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an example to distinguish the two. So, for example, you said a habit could be...
For example, stealing.
Stealing can be a behavior?
A habit.
A habit.
Yes.
Okay.
Not a behavior.
Okay.
Because you see, whenever, for example, children steal, there is that gap. There is that need that they want to fulfill. So, for example, if they are hungry and there is no food, then they would tend to... That is a habit, it's not a behavior.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, can behaviors be changed? Because I know habits can be changed, but can behaviors be changed?
Yes, they can be modified, not
modified.
Changed. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Through punishment?
Actually, behaviors are learned from, we are now talking about the social learning theories through rewards and punishments. So like a behavior is like more conscious because that is who you are. But a habit is just something acquired.
Okay.
Yes.
I get you now.
I can copy you because you have been rewarded. Then I want to do that which you're doing so that I can also be rewarded like you. But that is not coming from me. It's because of what I have seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get you now. So when it comes to repetition, you said when someone repeats and repeats and repeats something, it becomes a habit.
It becomes
that comes automatically. It's a response to a trigger.
Yes.
Is there a safe place where someone can get to where before it gets to become a habit, you can kind of become conscious of it and realize, oh, this is something bad I'm beginning to pick up, I need to drop it. Like, is there, I don't want to put a number to it because probably there's no, but is there a place, a position where you can get to, and before it gets to become a habit, you're like, okay, no, this one I need to stop.
Yeah, of course, as an individual, you're aware, like we talked about betting, like you're aware it's not something good that you're doing.
Yeah.
You're getting addicted. So at some point, you might want to stop that habit of betting. You might want to stop that habit of getting late. So it is through determination and conscious awareness. So when you are aware that what I'm doing is not what I want. Now we are talking about the bad habits.
Yes, bad habits.
Like what I'm doing is not what I want, and it's detrimental to maybe my goals, to where I want to be. Then that comes in, the process comes in through conscious awareness. So once you're aware, then you make that determination on the steps that you would take to change the behavior. If it's the environment, then you avoid that environment. If it's the company, for example, stealing, maybe it's the peer influence, then you avoid that company. Yeah.
All right. you've talked about something I was just about to go into, the environment.
Yes.
Your environment, how your environment affects your habits, and how your environment can be a harbor for triggers and cues for you. Talk about that.
Okay, of course, environment is crucial because we tend to learn through what we observe. There is a way our mind is conditioned such that when you are, for example, when you are partying, then you tend to behave the way
Party goers behave.
yes. So environment contributes to habit. So you might find yourself like doing some things because of the environment that you live in, the foods that you take.
Yeah.
They're influenced, of course, by the environment, isn't whatever is available in that environment is what you will take. And sometimes you find that that environment might be having some things that you might not want to take, like alcohol, drugs. So if you're not like assertive enough, if you don't know yourself, you're not aware of yourself, you might end up indulging into things just because the environment provided, but not because you wanted to. Yes.
So, and we'll get into this a bit later. So, but basically, changing your environment or changing the things around your environment can really help in breaking bad habits.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's something to point out that it's absolutely crucial, especially that she's pointed out, to be self-aware. To be self-aware and to have that awareness in your mind that something that you begin to do, something you've begun to do is a bad habit that you're beginning to pick up.
True.
Yeah. Awesome. So we'll get into how to break bad habits very, very soon, right after this break. But before we go to the break, I'd like for you to speak to us on age. Does a person's age affect the way, there's this saying, you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. So is it that older people are harder at picking up habits? Are younger people more prone to picking up new habits? How does that work?
True. In fact, they say that at the age of 55 and above, people are less likely to change.
Okay.
Because you're more aware of yourself, you're more aware of what you want. So it's harder because the behavior is more permanent than when it comes to younger people. Also, it depends on the personality and also maybe the interest that you have. But in the real sense, the older people, it's harder for them to change behavior than the younger ones.
Yeah. So it's really true when people say that you are a product of your habits.
True.
Because by the time what you build as habits and in your younger years become kind of like your behavior. By the time you're 55,
they end up becoming your behavior.
They end up becoming you. So really take care of the habits that you're forming now, because you might get to a place where now
getting up late, lying,
laziness,
stealing. Those are some of the things that when you're older, it become hard for you to change. Yes.
Wow. We're going to go on a short break, but we'll be right back after this with this conversation. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. You're watching The Virtuous Woman Show with me, Sheila Juma, and today we have Helen Gige on the couch today with us. We are talking about habits and habit formation. And something interesting that I've learned is that once you get to the age of 55, it's very hard for you to change your habits. It kind of becomes permanent. Of course, not without the help of the Holy Spirit, but with the help of the Holy Spirit, I'm sure all things are possible. But basically, take care of the habits you're forming now. As you grow older, it kind of becomes harder to let those habits go. So welcome back. We'll pick this up from where we left off. And I wanted to ask about breaking unhealthy habits. Already we've talked about the environment, taking care of your environment. So what are some other habits or things we can do to break bad habits?
Okay, breaking bad habits is a process. And first of all, we talked about the environment, the cues that you can pick, the triggers. So the first thing is for you to identify the triggers.
Okay.
Which ones are these? And then there is replacing the unhealthy habits with the healthier ones, or the bad ones with the good ones. And then you set a specific goal, and then now you can enlist social support.
Okay.
You get support from people. So when you want to break a bad habit, you start with self-suggestion. For example, as teachers, when you want to break a certain habit, you create a situation that brings out this habit that they might think of giving up the bad habit.
So making them aware
Yes.
of what their habit is.
In fact, we normally call it mental games. You
Okay.
play mental games.
Okay.
Like you say, hey, there was someone who used to be very lazy. And that is what oral literature does. Like it plays mental games on us such that you're given a situation and then you can relate. Like, kumbe being lazy can result to this. So that is self-suggestion. And then determination. Of course, you have to be determined to leave the bad habits and make an improvement of your habits. And then there's what we call replacement. Now you replace the bad ones with the good ones. If it is lying, then you practice telling the truth. Once you tell the truth, of course, the lying will go away. If it is laziness, you replace it with working hard. So once you work hard, of course, the laziness will go. If it is punctuality, coming late, then you replace it with coming early. Then of course it will go. So that is replacement. And then get the right environment. Family, neighborhood, friends. We talked about the existence of the triggers. For example, when you go to a party and you have that habit of maybe smoking, and the things will be available there, then of course you would have given that environment. And then we talked about need satisfaction, whereby someone might be, for example, being into this habit to fulfill a certain need, like stealing to fulfill maybe the lack of food. So when you provide the needs, then the habit will be removed. And then the reward and punishment, a little punishment. Even in the Bible, it is allowed, isn't it?
Yes,
for
not
the
just
kids,
a little.
isn't it? For bad habits.
Yeah.
And then a lot of rewards for the
good habits.
They are helpful in getting off the bad habits.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a saying, I'm not quite sure how many days they said in the saying, but 21 days to form a habit.
Yes.
So before we even go there, just remembered something you talked about, replacing. So you can't just put off a bad habit and just stop. You have to do something.
It's a process.
Instead of the bad habit, you have to replace it with something else. You can't just stop. For example, you wake up every day, the first thing you do is your phone.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to stop that habit. So you can't just wake up one day and find something else to replace
that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, keeping yourself busy. You can start reading books.
Okay.
You can start community work, helping, and so many other things. You can study your Bible in the morning instead of looking at the phone.
Yeah.
So you find something to replace that bad behavior.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that. So back to what I was saying now, 21 days to form a habit.
Yes.
So if you repeat something for 21 days, it becomes subconsciously.
It will come automatically.
Wow.
It becomes more permanent. Behavior or action is on a one-time basis. So the conscious decision is made in response to a specific situation or the need. So you started by asking me the difference between a habit and a behavior.
Yeah.
So a habit is a behavior that is performed regularly or automatically, and often it is without conscious thought. So when you create this good habit, then it becomes a behavior.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that are listening, I'm sure, have one bad habit, and I can mention one: the phone.
Yes, that one. No.
The phone, that one.
It's a real problem.
It's a problem.
And you see, we said that you get rid of the bad habits that can be detrimental to some of the aspects of your life. You find some people are even struggling in marriages because of the phone.
Yeah.
Because of the habit. You find that you're cooking in the kitchen, you're on the phone, you end up cooking a bad meal, or the meal is burnt. Then you end up quarreling. Yeah? So that is a habit that can be done away with. And of course, looking at the phone is not bad.
Yeah.
But when it is addictive,
it's addictive.
It becomes too much. You are not in control over it, then it can be detrimental.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing. So hapo mmepata solution. So make sure that's a habit you're replacing. So replace, I normally say that if you would like to get rid of that habit of the phone, because sometimes you can even just sit down, you're not even thinking about your phone, but your hand is just, where is it? So I normally say, if you want to grow spiritually, every time you reach for your phone, reach for the Bible.
I think it also takes discipline.
It does.
Because you remember, I've talked about determination. Because you have to identify, this is the trigger. Then you are determined to do the opposite. I'm sure, even Bible study, there's things that you just force yourself to do. You know, we as human beings, we are basically lazy. We are naturally lazy. So there are some things, even you know you don't want to wake up in the morning, but you have to push yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I have to wake up, I have to do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you don't have that inner motive, that inner wherever
push,
yes, you would just end up becoming,
a slave of a habit.
Yes.
Amazing. Talk to us about the relationship between habit and goal achievement. Say you have this goal that you want to achieve, but the habits you currently have are not conducive to that specific goal. So for example, body goals. There are people who want to achieve a certain type, maybe they want to have muscles, so they need to go to the gym, but the habits that they have are not conducive to achieve that goal.
Okay, yeah, it's true. Habits can hinder or support goal achievement depending on whether they align to your goals or not. So it's good to stay focused and consistent to working towards your goals and avoid the negative habits that can become obstacles. So once you keep doing the things that are not supporting your goals, you will not achieve that goal.
True.
So you have to identify which ones that support my goal and then stick to them. Then that one you will be able to achieve your goals faster. And of course, you talked about, you mentioned something like when it comes maybe to weight management or something, then you'll have to stick to that routine. If, for example, you have been prescribed a certain meal or certain exercises, then you do it once and you get tired, do you think you would achieve that? It will become difficult. Yeah. So I think it's important that you identify the habits that support your goals. Otherwise, you wouldn't attain those goals.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that basically goal setting is a way to form great habits, because the only way to achieve those goals would be to have good habits anyway.
True.
So if you don't have any goals, sometimes you can fall back into bad habits.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course, there is something that we always want to achieve. Today, you might have your plans. We normally call them plans or your ambitions. You want to be in 3-4 years' time. There is something that you have in mind.
Yeah.
But there are some things that if you don't do, you might not achieve that which you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And even in academics, for example, you want to move from this bad grade to a good grade, and you keep on being lazy, you don't want to practice, when it comes to revision. There's an area that normally you're not good at and you want to improve. And then you keep on procrastinating. then you will not improve in that area.
Yeah.
You have to fill yourself with the knowledge, you have to practice. If it is writing, then at the end of the day, you find that you keep on improving, and the more you are rewarded, remember that it is progressive.
Yeah, yeah.
It is the cue, then the reward. We said it is the cue and the reward, then the behavior. So the more it is rewarded, the more it is reinforced, then the more the behavior is formed.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing. Before we finish, I'd like to get into the role technology can have, or how can we leverage technology in forming good habits? Is there something that's out there that can help us?
A lot. And I think we use this especially in the morning. Those of you who wake up late, there is alarm reminders. If you keep on forgetting, you can put reminders. We have habit tracking apps.
Okay.
We have apps that there's one that my brother uses, and he's very good at jogging. And I wonder, how do you manage? Where do you even get the time to wake up in the morning and start running around? And he's very good. He has managed his weight, and it also helps you to keep alert. And you can also have goal setting features in your phone. Like you say, by this time, I want to have accomplished this. A personalized feedback system, whereby, nowadays technology can even tell you what you have achieved. If you want, for example, to read for 2 hours and you have achieved that, it puts a tick, so that when it gives you feedback, that's like a reward. So you keep doing it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that technology can do, and this can assist. If I have a trip, I think it's because when we were young, we were not exposed to trips. Hey, I think normally when I'm to travel the following day, I don't need to put an alarm.
Because your body just knows, same.
I'll just wake up.
It's a way. I don't know what it is, but your body just wakes up.
Yes, that is conditioning.
Yeah.
So you condition yourself. So like when you put the alarm the first time, then the second day and the third, you will automatically wake up.
True.
So you find that that habit, you reinforce the good habit, it will assist you.
That's true.
Yes.
And that's true, because now when you get a baby, and the sleep now begins to become a challenge. Sometimes, like when after you've been waking up a lot or often, and your baby one day doesn't wake up, you wake up.
Yes.
Because we are supposed to be waking up at this time.
In fact, there was a joke going around on social media that we women are so used to noise. When the children are making noise, even when they are screaming, you're very comfortable.
Yeah.
But when they keep silent,
You're like, hey, something is up. So that's true. I think that's very true about habits, because now it's become a habit. So we wake up at a certain time, we do this, we do that. So thank you so much for coming. That's all the time we've had. I'm sure we have learned, and our viewers have learned a few things. 21 days. It just takes 21 days to form a habit. So to get rid of those bad habits, replace it with a new habit. Set some goals. Set your goals well, and to be able to achieve those goals, you'll have to make good habits. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Helen, for coming. I'll see you same time, same place next week. Have a great rest of the week.